All right. Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening. This is the time for the 5 p.m. calendar and initial appearance court on February 8th, 2025. The court's orders to the taking of DNA and fingerprints given on the first calendar of this month will apply to all hearings on this calendar. I will call you each up to the podium one at a time. Please listen for your name. I'm then going to announce whoever is up next. Please sit in the chair that's right outside of the courtroom. I'll let you know what you've been arrested for, what your next court dates are, and any release conditions that I'm ordering today. Let's go ahead and get started with Leander Gray to the podium. And Chris Heilman to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Leander Gray, 10-2-89.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated assault, domestic violence, impeding breathing, which is a Class 4 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured appearance bond today in the amount of $25,000. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I'm also ordering that pretrial services supervises you in the community and that they install an electronic monitor on you prior to your release. Gotcha. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any victims, complainants, or witnesses, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must obey any terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that has been or will be issued. Finally, I'm ordering that you may not reside at the same location as any listed victim. If you do currently reside with a listed victim, you must find an alternative place to stay and bring proof to your next court date. Gotcha. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, go ahead and grab that and take a seat to your left.
Thank you.
Chris Heilman to the podium and Larry Eaton to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Chris Kelvin Hilleman, 11789.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated DUI, license suspended or revoked for DUI, Class 4 felony, narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, aggravated DUI, wrong way driving, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, resisting arrest, passive resistance, Class 1 misdemeanor, and 2 counts of criminal trespassing, Class 1 misdemeanors. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $10,000. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and no driving without a valid driver's license. It's likely that your license has been suspended or already is suspended, so check with the DMV before you get behind the wheel of any vehicle. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
So I'm not being released?
That's correct.
Is there any way I can get that bond lowered?
So you can talk with your attorney. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Your attorney can bring that up at the next hearing, but I am going to order that bond today. If you go through a bonding company, it's about 10% plus collateral, so that would be $1,000 plus collateral.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork and take a seat to your left. Larry Eaton to the podium. And George Eltherlew to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Larry Eaton, 5285.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of possessing a deadly or defaced weapon, which is a Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $10,000. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No release?
No, you're going to be here on a bond. If you post that bond, you can be released. Okay. Go ahead and grab your paperwork and take a seat to your left. George Efferau to the podium, and Lana Shields to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
George LF30U, 12/9/1986.
Thank you. I do apologize for mispronouncing your name. I know we were close, and that was not my intention. I apologize.
Okay.
We're here today on the Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony, narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $2,500. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription and no driving without a valid driver's license. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Is there any way to lower the bond at all?
So as of right now, I already went pretty much on the low side. I did take in consideration your lack of criminal history, and that's part of the reason why I set it where it is. So you can go through a bonding company. They generally require about 10% plus collateral, or you can talk with your attorney. Your attorney will be there at your next hearing. Your attorney can ask for a modification of any of my orders at your next hearing, but that's up to your next judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not a problem. Grab your paperwork and take a seat to your left. Lana Shields to the podium, and Christy Woods to the chair, please. Get right to the podium, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
0620-1967.
And your name?
Lana Shields. Lana Denise Shields.
Thank you. We are here today on two different failure to appear bench warrants. It's on a case involving disobeying or resisting an order mandated of the court and dangerous drug possession. And then the second case is on dangerous drug possession. I will affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you. I'm setting a status conference post-warrant on February 18th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond in the amount of $2,500 on each case. So it's $5,000 total. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not have contact with the arresting officers, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
A lot, but I don't think we have time for them.
I mean, if you have questions about my orders, I'm giving you an
No,
opportunity.
but the order, I can just follow the rules, follow the rules, follow the rules.
Okay. So go ahead and take your paperwork that's in front of you and take a seat to your left.
In these chairs up here?
Correct.
Which one?
Just have a seat right over here.
Christy Woods to the podium, and Antonio Guerrero to the chair, please.
Hello.
Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
My Christy was 5/30/93.
Thank you. We are here today on two different cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, criminal damage, Class 1 misdemeanor, and threatening or intimidating with injury or damage to property, Class 1 misdemeanor. I am only finding probable cause as to the criminal damage and the threatening and intimidating, not the drug possession today. I was not provided with enough information from the arresting agency to find probable cause. That doesn't mean that allegation necessarily goes away. The state can still charge you with that down the line, but for today's purposes, I'm not finding probable cause. Talk with your attorney. I'm appointing one to represent you about what that means moving forward, okay? I am setting a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. And I am going to issue a secured bond in the amount of $1,000 on this case with pretrial services supervision and an electronic monitor to be installed. We're also here today on a municipal court warrant out of the Goodyear Municipal Court for a shoplifting case, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you in that case as well. Set an arraignment hearing in the Goodyear Municipal Court on February 12th at 8:30, and I'm setting a secured bond in the amount of $250 on that case. So you have a total bond of $1,250. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no contact with the arresting officers, and no drugs without a valid prescription. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Can I speak a minute? My son's birthday is in 2 days, and my brother had passed away on January 14th. I'm next in kin. I'm running the whole funeral, and I don't know what to do if I'm incarcerated.
Okay. I understand. You're going to have to post that bond in order to be released. So that's $1,250. If you do it through a bonding company, it's 10% plus collateral. So that would be $125. So I mean that has to be posted before you can be released. I understand your circumstances, but there are about 15 different factors that I have to consider as a part of release conditions according to the law. I am concerned with some of the allegations that were brought in front of this court today. So I am holding you on that bond. Okay. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat. Antonio Guerrero to the podium and Joseph Quesada to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Antonio Ramos, May 14th, 1991.
Thank you. And I just want to make sure, is it Antonio Ramos Guerrero?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated assault of an officer, which is a Class 5 felony, resisting arrest, physical force, Class 6 felony, and assault, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference in the downtown Superior Court on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $1,000. I'm also ordering that if you post that bond, that pretrial services supervises you in the community, that they install an electronic monitor on you prior to your release. As a part of your release, I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any victims, complainants, or witnesses, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must obey any terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that has been or will be issued. I'm also ordering that you may not reside at the same location as any listed victim in this case. If you do currently reside with any listed victim, you must find an alternative place to stay and bring proof to your next court date. All this information will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and then take a seat. Joseph Quesada to the podium, and Tanya Saunders to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
12/13/1988, Joseph Daniel Quesada.
Thank you. We are here today on a probation violation warrant for violating terms 3 and 5 of your probation.
Okay.
I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on February 14th at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $350. That doesn't mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post bond, I'm ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
How do I get in contact with my mom to do that?
So you're going to be taken back to processing right now. You'll have access to a phone when you get back there.
And does do you know if my info is of my mom's number in there or anything?
I don't know. You'll have to talk to the officers when you get
I
back.
wish I would have got ODR. All right, thank you.
Not a problem. Grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Tanya Saunders to the podium and William Castaneda to the chair, please. Ms. Saunders, I see that you have a little bit of an injury there. Are you okay standing up?
Yes, sir. I have a replaced femur. Yes.
Okay. Well, if you have any issue where you need to sit down, please tell me. I don't want you to fall over, okay?
Thank you.
We are here today on a Superior Court failure to appear bench warrant. Can I have your name and your date of birth before we get started?
Yes, sir. It's Tanya Kim Saunders, 9/15/74.
Thank you. As I said, we're here today on a failure to appear bench warrant on a case involving dangerous drug possession and drug paraphernalia. I will affirm the attorney that was previously appointed to represent you. I am setting a status conference on February 13th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 18th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a $250 secured appearance bond today. If you do post that, you can be released. If you do post that, I'm also ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or drive without a valid driver's license, and no contacting the arresting officers. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
So the 250 can't be lowered. I was in Core Civic. I just got out this morning after doing 90 days. That's why I didn't make the court appearance.
Okay,
I started my time on November 10th. That's why I didn't appear, otherwise I would have.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
I came straight here. September 10th by Judge Biderman, 90 days, and yeah. And I was told by that honorable judge it would be 26th or 27th, but like I said, I just got out this morning.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second here.
So, and just my leg, it's been tough. I got hit by the car actually after leaving the court, filing a motion.
So I'm going to modify my prior orders. I do see notes here that it says you were released from Core Civic.
Yes, sir.
Looks like this morning. And if you were there for 90 days, it would have been during your last
Yes,
court
sir.
hearing. So I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services then.
Thank you, sir.
You're going to get an envelope before you leave court today that has details on pretrial release. Make sure that you read through that. Most importantly, you have to call pretrial services once you're released.
Yes, sir.
The remainder of my orders are going to be the same. Do you have any questions?
I appreciate that, Your Honor, and I will be here.
Go ahead and take a seat for just a second. We have to reprint your paperwork. We'll bring it out to you in just a moment, okay?
Okay, and I'm sorry, one more time, Your Honor, last time I was here, when you did reschedule appointment or another court hearing, they were able to offer a bus pass because, of course, Mesa's not able to get me back to Mesa, and I can't walk that good with my leg.
Right. So you're going to have information in that envelope for pretrial services. Pretrial services can help you with transportation, and then when you get processed for release today, they can also give you some information on transportation as well.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Not a problem. Go ahead and grab that from your left and then take a seat. William Castaneda to the podium and Felipe Delgado to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
William Castaneda, 1982.
Is it April 3rd, 82? Thank you. We're here today on a probation violation warrant for violating terms 3 and 5. I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on February 14th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to affirm the bond in the warrant. It's a $250 secured bond. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not have any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat. Felipe Delgado to the podium, and Adrian Chavarria to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Felipe Navarro, 21168.
Thank you. We are here today on a probation violation warrant for violating term 3 of your probation. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you. I'm setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on February 14th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $250. If you do post bond, you can be released, but there are some conditions you have to follow. I'm ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you have to contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat. Adrian Chavarria to the podium and Michael Morton to the chair, please.
Sorry, I brought this in.
You're fine. You can come up to the podium. It's fine. Yeah, keep all your stuff with you. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
My name is Adrian Morales Chavarria.
Your date of birth?
Oh, sorry, December 10th, 2001.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of unlawful flight from law enforcement, which is a Class 5 felony. I will find probable cause, and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today to the supervision of pretrial services. So you're going to get an envelope as you leave court today that has details on pretrial release. Please read through that. I'm also going to order that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription and no driving without a valid driver's license. It's possible your license has been suspended based on these allegations, so double check with the DMV before you get behind the wheel of the vehicle. Did you have a question?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. So, sorry, I bought this vehicle from my brother on Sunday and his friends, and last night when I thought someone crashed me, it was the cops, and they put their guns at me and everything, like all crazy. And I guess I got this car, my brother, on Sunday, and they're accusing me of something that this vehicle that has the VIN number of my brother, like 2-3 weeks ago, fled from Tempe, and I mean, that wasn't me. Like I just got this car on Sunday.
So
I don't even know what's going on. Like,
no, I understand. So we're not determining whether you actually did these allegations.
Yeah.
We're just determining whether there was cause for your arrest. So you still have the ability to contest these allegations, to fight them at a trial if that's what you choose to do. I am going to appoint you an attorney, so talk with your attorney about what to do, next steps moving forward, any possible defenses to any of that. What I'm finding today is based on what I was provided from the arresting agency only, I'm finding that there was probable cause to at least arrest you. Now, I am releasing you today to pretrial services, so I'm not holding you in jail during this time. I'm releasing you. I'm just saying that you have to report to pretrial services. Pretrial services will be in contact with you. They'll help you get to court. Make sure you get to court.
Okay. I should speak to my attorney, right?
Correct.
I appreciate your honor.
No problem. Grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
Have a good week. Take care.
You as well. Yeah. Yeah. Is he here? Or is he in the hospital?
No, he's here. Something that really did.
Right, but is he in the gallery or is he back?
He's in back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that after we finish counting. Or do they want to do it right this? Because we have 4 or 5 people left.
I think we'll look at this.
Yeah, let's just get through the calendar first. Michael Morton to the podium, and Cynthia Vela to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Michael Morton, 02/16/2001.
Thank you. We are here today on a municipal court warrant out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. It's on a case involving shoplifting, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Because it's a misdemeanor allegation, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you do have the option to hire an attorney at your own expense if you choose. I am setting an arraignment hearing in the Goodyear Municipal Court on February 26th at 1 p.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance on this matter. We're also here today on another municipal court warrant out of Peoria. It's the same allegation, shoplifting, Class 1 misdemeanor. You have the right to hire an attorney, but I'm not appointing one today. And I'm setting an arraignment hearing in Peoria Municipal Court on February 27th at 9 a.m. So they're 1 day apart. Just make sure you get to the right courthouses.
Yes, sir.
I'm releasing you on your own recognizance on both. As a part of your release, I'm ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any victims, complainants, or witnesses, and no drugs without a valid prescription. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
I thought the Peoria warrant was for trespassing.
I show that they're both for shoplifting, but I could be wrong. Let me take a look. Yeah, I show it's for shoplifting.
Okay.
But double check when you get to the Peoria court to make sure, because I don't have access to their whole docket. I just have the warrant, and the warrant reflects shoplifting. It's possible it got logged wrong or something along those lines. So check with the court when you get there, but I show shoplifting on both cases.
All right. Was my arresting agency Goodyear, right? Like what information you got provided with today?
Correct.
Okay.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Cynthia Vela to the podium, and Rayon Malicio to the chair, please. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Cynthia Maria Vela, 12/23/79.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court arrest warrant. You are charged with 1 count of narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony. I will appoint an attorney to represent you. I am setting a status conference on February 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's a promise that you'll appear at that next court date. I'm also ordering that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription and no driving without a valid driver's license.
Okay.
All that's going to be on your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead and grab that and take a seat. No, you're fine. Is there an update on that one?
Well, he went out, matter,
Okay.
but he's conscious and breathing, alert.
Okay.
So we have a number if you want to telephone.
Yeah, can we just do it at the end of this calendar?
Yep.
That work? Let's just do that.
She has the information and number ready already.
Perfect. Rayon Malacio to the podium, and Melinda Squires to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Menezes Rayon, 10/24/1983.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court in New Case. You were arrested on allegations of dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I'm setting a status conference on February 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's a promise that you'll appear at your next court date. I'm also ordering as a part of your release that you not possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid license. All this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left. And
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Belinda Squires to the podium, and Matthew Jackson to the chair, please. Good evening, may I have your name and date of birth?
Belinda Squires, 4579.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and criminal trespassing, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause except for the dangerous drug possession allegation. I'm not finding that today. It doesn't mean that that allegation goes away. It just means I wasn't provided with enough information from the arresting agency to find probable cause. The state can still charge you with that down the line. I am going to appoint you an attorney on this case, so talk with your attorney about what that means moving forward. I am setting a status conference on February 24th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 26th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court, and I am going to release you on your own recognizance. That's a promise that you'll appear at your next court date. As a part of your release, I am going to order that you not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no possessing any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license.
Yes,
All
sir.
this is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Not a problem. Grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
God bless you. Have a nice day.
Was that number 22?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to call?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because we're on the last one now. Matthew Jackson to the podium. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
My name is Matthew Jackson Jr. My birthday is 538, May 3rd, 1982.
Thank you. We are here today on a Justice Court new case out of the University Lakes Justice Court. You were arrested on allegations of criminal trespassing and theft, both Class 1 misdemeanors. I will find probable cause, and because they're misdemeanor allegations, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you can hire one at your own expense if you choose. I am setting an arraignment hearing in the University Lakes Justice Court on February 25th at 1:30 p.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's a promise to the court that you'll appear at your next court date. As a part of your release, I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no drugs without a valid prescription, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead and grab that and take a seat.
Okay, thank you.
And then number 22 on the calendar for Braden Twitchell. It's my understanding that he was just transported to the hospital, but he is alert and awake and able to do the hearing over the phone. We're going to get him on the line shortly. Because he's being transported to the hospital, I do find good cause for him to not be in court today, but we will have him telephonic and make sure he is provided with a copy of his release condition.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Twitchell?
Yeah.
This is Commissioner Coffin in the Maricopa County Superior Court. I'm going to do your hearing over the phone, okay?
Okay.
Is your name Braden Twitchell? Is your name Braden Twitchell with a date of birth of October 19th of 2000?
Yeah.
Okay, we are here today on a municipal court new case out of the Guadalupe Municipal Court for shoplifting. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I am going to set an arraignment hearing on February 26th at 8:30 a.m. The address for the courthouse is going to be in your paperwork. It's the Tempe Magistrate Court doing Court 4 Guadalupe Municipal Court. I am going to release you on this case on your own recognizance. That's a promise that you'll appear at that next court date. I'm also ordering as a part of your release that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with the arresting officers, and no drugs without a valid prescription. We'll make sure that you get a written copy of these orders. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to get you a copy of that, and they're going to take you to the hospital right now. You have a great day. Feel free to hang up.
Thank you, Honor.
All right, that does conclude the 5 p.m. calendar. We will stand in recess until 8 p.m.
Gonzalez's hospital, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And then Taylor Matthias refused,
Okay.
and Toro Don refused. And then I have the rest here, so I'll go to get.
Thanks so much.
Yes, right. You go sit down. Let's see we're going to where's your let's go. Let's see. Yeah. What's on this? That's it.
Sir, can I get your full name, please?
That would be Stephen William Manley. My date of birth is 10/18/99.
All right, Mr. Manley, I'm seeing you this evening on a new charge of assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You're being held on no bond hold from probation. And so I'm just going to release you as to this charge, order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. If you're still in custody, they'll take you to a video hearing on March 11th at 8:30 in the morning. If you are out of custody by that date, you're going to need to get to Pima County Justice Court to have that hearing, okay?
It's with the Justice Court? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a good rest of your day, man.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. He's going to look bad, man. Yeah, you go. I'm thinking taking place. Mario. Yayo. What? Oh, there you go. Right here. 500 after him, then what? You can go around that thing right there, sit down on the chair, so sit down right here. You don't sit down on top of it.
Good evening, ma'am.
Can I get your full name?
Mario Luis Gallardo.
Mr. Gallardo, I am seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You do have a new charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. And then hold on, don't talk at all. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I'm also seeing you, sir, on some warrants that you have out of Pima County Justice Court. Let me just tell you about these warrants really quick. There's one for criminal damage from March 25th of 2023. One for criminal damage from August 7th of 2022. And finally, one for threats and intimidation and criminal damage from July 25th of 2022. So, sir, what's going on with you? Where are you living on Hildreth still?
Yeah, my father, he just got into a stroke. This is the second stroke. He's 84 years old, and I've been with him and through since the incidents with the warrants and all that. I was on probation, and I got off of probation, and I haven't had time to go back to the justice court. But I could go back first thing in the morning, and from there I could go see my father. But I could start taking care of that. I actually forgot about it because I've been so busy.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming that you haven't been arrested again since 2023, so that's good. I don't want you to say anything, okay? I can't do anything about it. You've been charged with it, and you're going to talk to the judge. That's okay. I just don't want you to say anything that could incriminate yourself. So, all right. So do you have a way that you're going to be able to get to justice court? It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be for another month. It's going to be in March that you're going to have to go. All right. I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. That hearing is in Pima County Justice Court on March 6th at 9:30 in the morning. And you'll be able to take care of all 4 of these cases when you go to that hearing, okay? All right. I'm also ordering, sir, that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. All right? All right. You're excused, sir. You're welcome. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name? Mr. Morales, I'm seeing you this evening on a number of different matters. You've got new charges of assault and drug paraphernalia. That assault charge is a domestic violence offense. And then you've got several warrants out of Tucson City Court, shoplifting, drug paraphernalia from December of 2024, criminal trespass from November of 2024, criminal trespass from July of 2024, and then you've got a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court for shoplifting, criminal trespass from October 31st of 2024. So, sir, as to these new charges, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you in your Tucson City Court cases. You're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest, and if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I'm also going to enter pleas of not guilty for you on these new charges at this time. I'm going to order that you be held on the Tucson City Court matters on a $500 cash bond. If you were to post that bond, I'm ordering that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you commit no acts of domestic violence, that you possess no firearms or weapons, that you have no contact of any kind with any alleged victims, that you don't go to their residences. And then as to the Justice Court matter, I'm just going to order a $100 cash bond on that one. I will appoint Robin Alt to represent you in Justice Court. Don't return to that incident location. And you're going to be seen on Monday in Justice Court, February 10th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You understand all of that, sir?
Yeah.
All right, you're excused.
Go downstairs. Go down the stairs to the mails, right? Elia? Julia? Like, go sit right here.
Hey, ma'am, can I get your full name?
Aaliyah Celeste Aregin.
Ms. Baregin, I am seeing you this evening on charges of 2 counts of assault, 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence offenses.
Yeah.
There may be additional counts. I'm not clear on that. And then you also have a pending case in Tucson City Court. It looks like it's a diversion case that's still ongoing right now.
Is it? Even though I did the class and did this, like, got the certificate?
So you need to have you turned that in?
I didn't know I was supposed to turn it in.
Yeah, you got to turn it in, and it says that looking at your paperwork right here, it says that, and then there's also a fine, I think. Well,
The fine is already paid,
I don't want to get too down that road. So, all right. So just make sure that you turn that certificate in, okay?
Okay.
All right. On these new charges, I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty for you and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Pretrial services did speak with all of the alleged victims, your mother, your sister, and your roommate. They all indicated that they do not object to your release from custody and that you're welcome to return home. So I am going to order, ma'am, that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence. And then you're going to need to be in Tucson City Court on March 7th at 9 o'clock in the morning, or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand? All right, you're excused.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there gonna be paperwork for this?
Yes, we'll give it to you.
Oh, okay.
All right, you can go down out the door downstairs to the females, all right? Your Honor, our next person is our Spanish speaker. Do we have the interpreter?
We do, thank you.
And Bravo?
I'm sorry.
And its interpreter's present. I'm trying to turn the camera on. There we go.
Thank you.
Good evening, Judge. Carter Santini here.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are yourself?
Good, thanks. Okay, hi, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Hola, señor. Diga su nombre completo, por favor.
Joaquín Hurtado Zambrano.
Joaquín Hurtado Zambrano.
Oh, defendant?
Mr. Zambrano, I am seeing you this evening on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and disorderly conduct with a weapon.
Señor Zambrano, lo estoy viendo a usted esta tarde por unos cargos de agresión con agravante con arma mortal y también, and the second charge, Your Honor, please.
Disorderly conduct with a weapon.
Y conducta contra el orden público con un arma.
You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Tiene el derecho de guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que usted diga se podrá y se usará en su contra.
You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for today's hearing.
Tiene usted derecho a un abogado. Le voy a nombrar un abogado defensor público para que le ayude. Hoy día tiene un abogado defensor a su lado para que le ayude durante esta audiencia.
I've reviewed the pretrial services information and the state's recommendation of a $10,000 bond plus pretrial services.
He repasado las recomendaciones de los servicios preprocesales y también la recomendación del Estado pidiendo una fianza de $10,000 y que usted sea, si deposita la fianza, que sea supervisado bajo los servicios preprocesales.
Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard any further on your recommendation?
Your Honor, this one concerns the state because, I'm sorry, Madam Interpreter, go ahead.
Le pregunta la juez al señor fiscal si tiene algo más que agregar y dice el señor fiscal que esto nos preocupa mucho al Estado porque, go on, counselor.
This person apparently, when a person empowered to repossess property he did not pay for, he didn't like that, and he lunged at, allegedly, this individual with apparently a machete and made threats to him to harm or take his life. State is concerned that this person poses a risk to the community.
El Estado está preocupado que esta persona posee amenaza y daño a la comunidad. Cuando una persona está tratando de reposesionarse de propiedad, este hombre le hizo amenazas con un machete.
Thank you, Mr. Poston. Mr. Santini?
Le pregunta al señor Santini si él tiene más que agregar.
We would be recommending Mr. Hurtado's release to pretrial services this evening.
Estamos recomendando que el señor Hurtado sea liberado bajo los servicios y la supervisión de los servicios preprocesales.
I understand the state's concern with the use of a weapon in this case, but I'd like to point that Mr. Hurtado has been present in Tucson for 32 years, and in that time, he has no criminal history to speak of, and from his account, not even a speeding ticket.
Comprendo la preocupación y la inquietud del Estado, pero el señor Hurtado ha habido en los Estados Unidos en cuanto el arma que utilizó, pero él ha vivido en los Estados Unidos en los últimos 32 años, no ha tenido antecedentes penales, ni siquiera una infracción de tránsito.
He's full-time employed as a facilities maintenance worker at a school here locally.
Él tiene trabajo de horas completas como persona de mantenimiento en una escuela aquí localmente.
And those weigh to him not being a flight risk, Judge. As to him being a continued risk to the victim, I would challenge the state on that as well. This isn't a case where he's going to be looking for this guy. In his version, he had been defending his property. He thought it was paid. He thought this may have been a scam, and he was on his property using what he thought was reasonable force.
En este caso, no hay que preocuparse que él será un riesgo para fugarse. En este caso, él pensaba que estaba defendiendo su propiedad o lo que pensaba que era su propiedad y esta persona estaba ahí y quizá pensó que tenía que utilizar fuerza.
He doesn't know this victim. He doesn't pose a continued risk to this victim.
Él no conoce a esta víctima. Él no posee riesgo contra esta víctima.
I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. I'm going to release you, sir, on your to pretrial services supervision.
Estoy satisfecha, dice la jueza. Entonces, señor, lo voy a liberar bajo la supervisión de los servicios preprocesales.
So, sir, you're going to need to be in contact with pretrial. You're going to get their information before you leave. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them.
Bueno, señor, usted va a recibir la información de cómo comunicarse con los servicios preprocesales antes que se vaya. Ellos le van a ordenar, ellos le van a hacer monitoreo de usted y ordenar que haga tratamiento o cualquier cosa.
I'm ordering, sir, that you possess no firearms or weapons during this case. So if you have any firearms or weapons, including machetes, at your residence, they need to go somewhere else during this case.
Le voy a sentar una orden, señor, que se le prohíbe a usted portar armas ni alguna otra arma. Entonces, si tiene otras armas en su casa, por ejemplo, machetes, tiene que entregarlos porque no puede utilizarlos.
Do you understand that, sir?
¿Comprende eso, señor?
Sí, sí, claro.
Yes, yes, of course.
I'm also ordering that you have no contact with the alleged victim and that you not go to his residence or workplace.
También estoy ordenando que usted no tenga, que se le prohíbe tener contacto con la supuesta víctima, que no acuda al lugar donde esa persona trabaja ni a su hogar.
And we'll set a preliminary hearing date for February 28th. But, sir, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date.
Entonces voy a programar la audiencia preliminar el día 28 de febrero, pero es muy posible, señor, que esa audiencia no va a ocurrir. Entonces usted recibirá la siguiente fecha de audiencia en una fecha posterior.
So it is very important that you're in contact with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court so that you don't end up with a warrant.
Entonces es sumamente importante que usted mantenga contacto con los servicios preprocesales y con su abogado para que ellos le informan si tiene una audiencia, porque si no se presenta, se emite una orden de arresto en su nombre.
That's all, sir. You're excused.
Esto, señor, está libre de retirarse. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Mr. Santini, yes?
Which office was appointed?
Public defender.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the interpreter. You're excused.
So voy a hablar con ellos. Este problema sí, eso por el lunes. Gracias. Tenga un buen día. Gracias. De nada. Jonathan.
Sir, can I get your full name?
Jonathan de Jesus Arguelles.
Mr. Arguelles, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of aggravated DUI for having a suspended license, fleeing from law enforcement, 2 counts of endangerment, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on a law enforcement employee. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I've reviewed the pretrial services information as well as the state's recommendation of a $50,000 bond. I do see that
Your Honor, that's 1-5. That should be 1-5-15. Sorry.
Okay.
New dictation software.
$15,000. So I do see that there is a that he's currently on probation for a DUI. So I'll hear from Mr. Santini.
Yes, Judge, waiting towards his release, I'd like to note that he is a full-time employee. His sister has verified his housing as well as third-party custody. If not, I'd be I think a more reasonable bond would be appropriate of $1,100.
Judge, the state has many concerns. One being he blew a .22 PBT. This is after when a community service officer responded to the scene where he crashed his vehicle into a tree in a business. When he was contacted, he then decided to crash into the CSO's vehicle, then fled at high speed for quite some distance until he ended up crashing his own car into a median. Signs and symptoms were all there. This person was a speeding bullet for quite some time. State believes he's a risk.
I'm going to order a $7,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured. Release to pretrial services if that bond is posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm ordering that you do not drive a vehicle, sir. Ordering monitoring and treatment as directed by pretrial if you were to post that bond. And a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for February 18th. But if you post the bond, make sure you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court, because that date is likely going to change. You understand, sir? All right, you're excused.
Xavier. Let's put them right there.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Xavier Bacon.
Mr. Beza, I am seeing you this evening on charges of possession of a weapon by a prohibited possessor, minor in possession of a firearm, and misconduct involving weapons. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I've reviewed the pretrial services information and the state's recommendation of $10,000 plus pretrial services. Mr. Poston, you want to be heard further?
Your Honor, this person has a very healthy juvenile record, has a history of parole violation, and now he's an adult and he's been arrested for prohibited possessor, as well as a weapon that apparently had its serial number defaced, making it, at least his attempt at making it less trackable. Looking at his background, Your Honor, ag assault, drugs, and a minor with firearms. He's not getting the message, Your Honor. $10,000.
Mr. Santini?
So, Judge, I think, into adulthood is a bit of a stretch when it's his 18th birthday. He's been in custody 2 months on this charge already. Clearly from his history, Judge, I don't see a violent threat to society. I see a drug-addicted child. He has housing with his mom. He has no violence history since 2021, and he has, no juvenile history since 2023. These 18-year-old transfer cases to adult court, I think, give us an opportunity to see, how Xavier will be now that he's an adult, now that he's taking on, more stuff. He was engaged in trade school before being picked up. He was doing that at One Stop. He has goals. He has plans. He's looking to the future. I don't think that he would be a continued threat with the supervision of pretrial services.
So, is he in custody on anything else right now, or was he in custody on his juvenile stuff?
So I think he was killing the juvenile stuff, and when he got picked up for the juvenile warrant or something like that, he had the guns were in the home, and there's video footage of him holding the gun that his mother shared with the police. His mother seems to be in good contact with the police, is helping them when he does stray for. So I think that I don't think there's anything else holding him in jail. Nothing else holding him from the jail.
Mr. Beza, hold on. Mr. Beza, you're enrolled in school right now?
Yes, ma'am. I have my GD, and whenever I was in Adobe, which is the juvenile prison I was at, I was doing a barber school program, and my PO forwarded me to the program One Stop, which is on the west side, if I'm correct. And there I was doing my business degree because I'm going to own a business, and that's going to be a barbershop. So that's my plan going forward now. And it's just I had my mistakes,
Go ahead, Mr. Poston.
Your Honor, the idea of releasing him to the custody, releasing him to PTS and having him live with his mother is honestly a bit ludicrous because we're looking at, he has lived there, his current residence, for 4 years with his mother, and clearly that's not keeping him from violating the law because that includes all 3 of these priors. What I'm seeing here is this is not his first time with weapons. He's violated his probation he's violated probation in February of 23, and Your Honor, nothing seems to stop him at this point, so the state does move for a high bond.
I also like the court to know that he's celebrating a year of sobriety as well.
So if I release you, you're not going to go out and party for your 18th birthday. You're going to go home and be with your family?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to give you a shot and release you to pretrial services.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I think that's the best birthday gift I got. It's my first birthday. You make me want to cry.
I just want you to do the right thing, okay? You've got to stay away from guns, right? I mean, this is like big time now where you're looking at prison, and nobody wants you to go to prison.
Side, I feel like I
We'll keep that attitude and be in touch with pretrial services when you're released, monitoring or treatment as directed by them. Obviously, no firearms or weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for February 28th, but that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You're going to get a hearing at a later date, so you've got to be in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so you know when to get to court, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right,
I
you're
appreciate
welcome. Good luck to you.
it. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
That's just a.
Francisco Antonio Coronado. Coronado, I am seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got new charges. Well, these are charges from November 17th of 2024 of burglary in the third degree, criminal damage, theft, and trafficking in stolen property. And then you've got some warrants out of Tucson City Court that we'll need to deal with. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I reviewed pretrial services information and the state's recommendation of $3,500 bond plus pretrial. I'll hear from defense.
Judge, waiting towards his release, I would like to note that he has not been convicted of any felonies and seems to just be a pattern of the same behavior. If you're not inclined to release him, Judge, we would ask for a more reasonable bond of $1,100.
All right. On the felony charges, I'll order a $1,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial. If that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, and do not return to the incident location. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for February 18th. But sir, if you were to post your bond, you need to make sure you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney because that hearing is very likely going to change. So you need to make sure you know when to go to court. All right, on these city court matters, these are for shoplifting, disorderly conduct, loitering, and drug paraphernalia charges from 2024 and 2023. I'll order a $250 cash bond on those. Don't go back to any of those incident locations. And I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. If you're still in custody, you will be seen by video on February 18th at 1:45. If you were to post your bonds, you would need to get to Tucson City Court on March 7th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or warrants will issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
All right, you're excused.
All right, you'll have to do or sit down there with the mails, all right? Miss Gloria Gonzalez.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Gloria Gonzalez. I'm sorry, I'm sick.
Oh, that's
I've been
okay.
sick for.
Hi. Oh, did I already post it? Oh, thank you. Okay, I messed up some paperwork, just figuring that out. Sorry. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, I am seeing you this evening on a charge of domestic violence, criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I have reviewed the pretrial services information, and The state's recommendation of a $2,500 bond plus pretrial services. Mr. Poston, you want to be heard any further on that?
State submits.
Okay. Mr. Santini?
Judge, we're asking for her release of pretrial services. Ms. Gonzalez is a 45-year-old woman with no criminal history. She's a lifelong Tucsonan. She does not pose a flight risk. She doesn't live with the victim. She has never been physically violent with the victim. This is a DV crim damage because she keyed his car in retaliation to being sexually harassed by the victim. That's not a way, it's not a defense to the crime, but it is, she took matters into her own hands. She shouldn't have done that, sure. She has a daughter that she's been staying with. And these issues, it's a much more complex situation. So I believe that pretrial services is fully sufficient to monitor Ms. Gonzalez.
Ma'am, I'm going to order that you be released to pretrial services supervision. You need to check in with them on Monday, monitoring her treatment as directed by them. I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim. You cannot go to his residence or workplace. You can't contact him on the phone or have anybody else contact him. Absolutely no contact with him. You understand that? Okay, and I'm going to also order that you do not go within 500 feet of his residence. All right, so you just need to steer clear. All right. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for February 20. That hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You're going to get a hearing at a later date. So it's really important that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court, okay? All right, you're excused, ma'am.
Thank you. You can go out the door downstairs to females, right? Christopher.
Hi, can I get your full name, please?
Christopher Harlan Looper.
Mr. Looper, I am seeing you this evening on charges of 2 counts of aggravated assault, trespassing in the first degree, and kidnapping. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State is asking that I hold you without bond because you are released on felony charges right now to pretrial services, and these are new felony charges. So I am going to order that you be held without bond at this time. We'll have a no bond hearing in Pima County Superior Court next week. It'll be this coming Thursday, the 13th at 2:30 in the afternoon. And we'll set the preliminary hearing date for February 18th. So, sir, you should be hearing from your attorney before that next hearing that you have on Thursday, okay?
All right.
All right, you're excused.
Christopher, go out the door, sit down on the stairs. Martinez, Pedro. Take a tissue, sir? No. No. I need a tissue. Yeah. Tissue? Oh, there you go. No worries.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Pedro Martinez. Javier Martinez III.
All right,
You have
Mr.
Martinez.
Martinez, I'm seeing you this evening on a couple of matters. You've got some, you've got a felony warrant for charges of dangerous drug possession and drug paraphernalia. Those are from October 9th of last year. And then you were released on those. You were released to pretrial services supervision. You did not stay in contact with them. And so a warrant issued for your arrest when you did not come to your arraignment. I'm also seeing you on some new charges out of Tucson City Court, criminal trespass and drug paraphernalia. We'll get to those in a moment. But, sir, where are you living right now?
On the street.
Okay. So do you have a way to get to court if I were to release you?
Yes, I can get to court.
Because I'm going to give you two court dates. Now you have to go to Superior Court and to City Court. Okay. Your Superior Court date is going to be next week. You've got an arraignment scheduled And you need to stay in touch with pretrial. So on Monday, you could go down to pretrial, go down to their office. They can help you figure out housing and getting a phone and things like that if you're interested. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you another shot and release you again to pretrial services supervision, monitoring or treatment as directed by them, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. And that hearing next week is in Pima County Superior Court on Valentine's Day, February 14th. That's this coming Friday, okay? At 1:30 in the afternoon. All right, so city court, I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. And if you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So on those charges, sir, I'm going to release you on your promise to appear in court. Do not return to that incident location. And your hearing in city court isn't for a month. It's February 12th at 2:00 in the afternoon. All right, you're going to get paperwork with all of this information on it, but I would really highly recommend that you go visit pretrial services on Monday so they can help you get some housing and whatever else you might need, okay?
Yeah. Judge, did you mean March 12th?
What did I say?
February?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's March. Thank you. I wrote March, I said February.
Make sure. Yeah. So that's next week. So this is your court date. Yeah. That'll be all the census dollars. Next time. All these guys will give you all the information you need to know for jail. You guys will be appreciate that, but thank you. That's a lot later. Mill Richard.
Junior Mills, Alan Richard.
All right, Mr. Mills, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got new felony charges of possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. And then I've got many warrants out of different jurisdictions. It looks like there's a couple out of Justice Court, one out of Marana, and
One out of Marana?
more about 7 files out of Tucson City Court. So we will start with the felony charges. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint on the felony charge the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. Mr. Poston, so I saw your recommendation of a $2,500 bond plus pretrial. I am going to hold him on some bonds because he's got all of those misdemeanors out there. But I should probably be setting him up with a SMART or a STEPS hearing unless you saw something that I didn't.
No, Your Honor, you're correct. He should be.
All right. Mr. Santini, did you want to be heard at all?
Judge, he would be asking for his release, but if not, we'd be asking for a reasonable bond of $1,100.
Well, I'm going to make it a $500 cash or secured bond on the new felony charges released to pretrial. If posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no alcohol or illegal drugs. We'll set that STEPS hearing for February 18th at 9:00 in the morning in Superior Court. And then we will set the PH also for February 18th. And then moving on to all right. Santan Justice Court has a warrant for criminal trespass from August 16th of 2023. They asked for, I think this says $680 bond. We'll make that a $250 cash bond. And we're just going to set a review hearing in 30 days to see what's happening with the local matters. So that'll be March 5th at 9 o'clock back here. All right. Marana is for disorderly conduct from December 19th of 2024. I'm going to order a $350 cash bond on that, and we will appoint an attorney for you in Marana. That will be Janet Altschuler. And you're going to be seen you will be seen on Monday, the 10th at noon for your Marana matter. Give me 1 second and we'll do the city court. All right, city court, there are some new charges of disorderly conduct and criminal trespass. That's from the Spectrum Mall. And then there are also criminal trespass shoplifting charges from January 26th, a couple of weeks ago. And then charges of criminal trespass from July of 2024, criminal trespass from November of 2024, criminal trespass from another one from November of 2024, reckless burning, criminal trespass, obstruction from December 15th of 2024, and charges of consuming liquor in public, parks, marijuana in public. Those are from February of 2024. All right, on the new charges, I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty and advise you that you are ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. You do have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And on the city matters, I'm going to order a $500 cash bond, order that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you don't go back to any of those incident locations. And if you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video on February 18th at 1:45. If you ended up out of custody, you would need to get to city court on March 12th at 9 o'clock in the morning, as well as your other hearings in the other jurisdictions. You understand all of that, sir? All right, you're excused.
Appreciate it. It's some of what the cops had made up. How do I fight that?
Your lawyer will talk to you about it.
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries, man. Have a good one. That's the one.
Thanks,
Take care.
You go down the stairs with the mails, all right, sir? Downstairs to the right.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Solid, Hamid Solid.
Mr. Sella, I'm seeing you this evening on a number of different matters. You have some new charges of shoplifting. It's a felony charge of shoplifting. And then you've got warrants out of justice court and city court that we will get to next. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I reviewed the pretrial services information and the state's recommendation of $7,500 plus pretrial services. I am going to hold him on a bond, given the number of cases that he has going on. Did you want to be heard at all as to that, Mr. Santini?
Just ask for it to be more reasonable, a $500 bond, given the history is property based.
Okay. All right, on the felony, I will order a $1,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial. If that bond is posted, do not return to that incident location. And monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for February 18th. All right. And then it looks like there are 3 warrants out of justice court. Mhm. Those are for shoplifting from November of 2024, shoplifting, drug paraphernalia from September of 2024, and shoplifting from February of 2024. All right, on each of those justice court matters, we'll do $250 cash bonds. We'll appoint Janet Altschuler. Do not go to any of those incident locations. Hearing in justice court will be on Monday, the 10th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And then there's a Marana warrant. That is for shoplifting, drug paraphernalia, criminal damage from November of 2024. We'll order a $350 cash bond on that. And also appoint Janet Altschuler. So you'll have the same attorney representing you in Marana and in justice court. Your hearing in Marana will also be on Monday, the 10th at noon. And then city court is next. I think there's a petition for revoke probation. Do I need to arraign him on this petition to revoke? No. Okay, wait, I see. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. So out of Tucson City Court, we have a January 24th of this year shoplifting, obstructing a highway, drug paraphernalia from September of 2024, and then a 2022 shoplifting and drug paraphernalia. All right, on those matters, we'll do a $500 cash bond and appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And you're going to see Judge Blue if you're still in custody by video. Yeah, yep, got it. February 13th at 1:45. All right, I think that's everything. You understand, sir?